Hello and welcome to my channel, and if you haven't been to my channel, then welcome back. My name is Karina and I'm an expert in public relations and mass communications. And if you are not subscribed for my channel and you like my content, I would encourage you to do so because I'm trying to actually grow my YouTube audience, and this channel I want it to become bigger. I want it to reach more people. You will really support me if you can subscribe for my channel and also share my videos, of course, if you like the content that I make. Now I'm going to start on the topic, which is going to be about quiet people, because as a quiet person I often get those comments, and I even recently got challenged about that. Why are you so quiet? Why are you so humble? Why are you so modest or introverted or whatever you call it, when you are actually a communication expert? You're supposed to be a public relations expert. They're not so quiet. They're usually loud. And I can tell you that's the biggest misconception that people have, that good communicator means loud or outgoing or the loudest person in the room. This is actually not correct, because first of all, people communicate. When you are out there around people, you communicate. You already do. Even if you say no words, you still communicate. Your silence is still a way of communication. So the fact that you are quiet means that this is your true essence and you're being authentic. But that doesn't mean that you are not a good communicator. That doesn't mean that your communication techniques are not going to work, because you have a different type of power than a person who is loud would have. Because a person who is loud, they're going to instantly get attention to themselves, but still that doesn't mean that this attention is going to be of a quality, because there's a lot of people who are loud and at the same time they manage to present themselves in a great light, and they manage to still create good relationships, and they are entertaining, and it's probably easier to communicate with them. However, if you are naturally a quiet person and you're trying to do this, it is not going to work the same way for you, because your nature is different. And this is why I'm teaching authenticity. Being authentic means understanding who you truly are, what is your essence, and making it work in your favor. It doesn't mean imitating somebody else. It means that you have self-awareness, you are understanding who you are, and you have accepted that, and now you're going to make this work for you. And I can tell you that quiet people actually have several advantages, and they're still good communicators, and very often they're even better communicators than a person who is probably louder. So one of the advantages is that when you're quiet, you're actually listening. You're there within certain environment, or in a meeting, or at a conference, or at your workplace, and people around you are loud, they're communicating, and you stay quiet. That doesn't mean that you're not hearing anything. That doesn't mean that you don't listen, and that doesn't mean that you're not thinking. Because I can say that even though I was quiet, I was actually reading people around. I could notice certain communication patterns. I could notice certain dynamics. Let's say on the next table, people were communicating between each other. I was noticing their faces, I was noticing their mimics, I was noticing the dynamic. Then there is another table, there are other people communicating between each other, there was another energetic dynamic, and I was actually noticing all of this while I was communicating with this one person who was asking me why I'm so quiet and why I'm so humble, and how can I be communication expert with those qualities. And I can tell you, you definitely can be communication expert with those qualities, because communication happens on all kinds of level. And it is not limited to one particular way of communication that is correct. There are many ways of communications that can work for you if that's the right thing for you and for your own essence. So one of the biggest advantages of quiet people is that we're capturing details that others probably don't, exactly because they're busy being loud. And we are noticing a lot of things, and we are also listening. We are there to listen carefully. And by the way, when we talk, we actually say something that is of a substance. We are not loud, but we are selecting the time to speak, and we only speak when we have something valuable to add to the conversation. And the other time we are listening, and that can actually be a powerful quality. Another good quality of a quiet person when it comes to communication is that we're capable of creating space, psychological space, for the other person that we communicate with. And with this space that we're creating, that person feels more comfortable and safer, and very often they start revealing things. They start telling us things about them, and now we're going to implement the first quality that I mentioned, which is active listening. A lot of people are teaching active listening and teaching you how to mimic it, how to respond to a person when they say something, how to recap what that person has said, because you want to show active listening. But if you are a quiet person, you're naturally doing the active listening, and now you're also naturally creating space for the other person that communicates with you. So this is actually an advantage. And if somebody says, well, you're not going to be noticed if you're quiet, I can tell you, in a lot of places I am noticed. And it's not always a nice thing to be noticed. Even when I don't want to be noticed, I'm still noticed. Because when somebody notices you as a quiet person, it is not because you're loud and you're in everybody's face and people just cannot not notice you. There's nothing wrong with this, and it works for a lot of people. But for you, you will be noticed by specific people, and it is going to often be about your qualities and about what you actually bring to the table in terms of intelligence and in terms of saying valuable things at the moments that you talk. And a third quality of a quiet person is that we actually understand influence. We are able to influence people in a way that a person who is louder cannot. Because a person who is louder is putting other people in a stress situation, and even if that loudness works for them up to some point, when they're ambitious, when they want to achieve something, maybe they achieve it faster. But in terms of that other person being comfortable with them or trusting them or necessarily going along with whatever they need, this is going to be harder. because a loud person is putting the other side very often in distress, and they don't know what to do with this loudness. Very often that person is loud, they seem cool, they're entertaining, you laugh because they say a lot of jokes, but what is happening when they need to actually influence you, when it comes to I want you to go along with something that I think is right, let's say for the team, or you need to be convinced that you need to do something that this loud person suggests, then a lot of times that is not going to happen that easy. Rather than if there is a quiet person who has already put you in a space of trust, in your own energetic space, and you have this comfort. And when you have comfort, you are within your comfortable space, then it's easier to trust. And this quiet person will subtly influence you without you even understanding that you're being influenced very often. So this is what I had for today's video. Please let me know if you are a quiet person that you're listening. What do you think about the quiet or humble people? Do you think they lack communication skills? Or do you think that maybe they have a different set of communication skills that work better for them? What is your experience? Also, as I mentioned, you can like and share this video, you can subscribe for my channel, and I'm going to leave a link below to my Facebook page as well as to my website. Thank you very much and have a great day.